Now, corporate technician. There we go.
Something.
And here we are.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
Hello, yous. Now, comms. Patch Ada through.
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Ada, am I really doing the right thing?
Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.01% certain we will not die.
That's good enough for me. I'm ready to skip the Hope.
Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved?
I'm okay with this. Let's skip the Hope to Terra 2.
Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
I'm skipping it myself.
I wouldn't advise that, Captain.
Worst ways to go out, I suppose. It's nice knowing you, boss.
I know what I'm doing.
All right. It is in your hands now, Captain. I trust you, in so much as my presets allow.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
No, we won't.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are a go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
It's fine. Hooray!
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Hey, we made it. Let's do it again.
No, Felix. Behave. Now, let's go check in on Phineas. Hopefully the board haven't beaten us to him. And I suppose if they have, then we just get to kill a bunch more board people, which is always good, clean fun.
Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thanks, Ada.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible?
That seems
How
like a
can
good
I be of
idea.
assistance?
Yeah.
See you soon, Captain.
We should probably go and see what old Phineas is up to.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Thanks, chick. So, it's the final battle, perhaps. Do we bring along my favoritist companions? Maybe. Sorry, Felix. So, it's Parvati. And then is it Nyoka or is it Ellie? They're both pretty cool. I think it's Nyoka. Parvati and Nyoka is our final team. In we go. Let's see what sort of bother Phineas is in. There's an arrest warrant receipt.
Incoming!
Incoming. Oh, yes. Almost didn't realise there were dudes everywhere.
Everyone all right?
Everyone's alright. So, oh, is that a landmine? Is it active? No, it's not. Excellent. On we go. Phineas? My friend? You around?
Great work.
Doesn't seem to be around. Yeah, is that a terminal? 90 hacking. Or we need to find his password. He's taking down a bunch of elite guards. So that's good going. I guess we will see if we can find his password in here. Some sort of plasma rifle but with N-ray damage. That's pretty cool. Ah, there we go. It's in a cysty pig. Of course it is. Swine. Enter passcode. Okay. Right, if you've seen this, he's been kidnapped and incarcerated, probably, yep. Personal files. Do we need to read these? Let's see. It's just a bit more lore. Very well. And then open panel. That seems like a good idea. Where's this panel we've opened? There we go. Tartarus nav key. And another level up. Let's go for more hacking. It might be useful. And now it seems that we might be able to get to Tartarus, and that's where our final showdown could be. Don't remember this from previous times when I've played, but...
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Okay, we can do that. We like our crew.
Those board goons kidnapped Mr. Phineas and hauled him away to Tartarus. How are we gonna get him out?
I never got to know Doc Wells. We ain't friends or crew. But he's still one of us. He's the reason the boss is up and walking right now. We can't just leave him to die in Tartarus.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Yeah, we can't abandon him. We've got to free him if we've got any hope of saving the colony.
I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
I like your attitude, Felix.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
We're cool with that. Crew, what do you think about all this?
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard.
So she likes
And
it.
I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
You're a dumbass, Felix.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. but there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
Yeah, we will. We're doing it. Everyone strap in.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Yeah.
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Right, let's do this, folks. To Tartarus. I just need to go down a flight of stairs or two. And away we go. Finally visiting Tartarus. And here's the warning that you are about to finish the game. Saves made after this point can only finish the main story on Tartarus. Side quests and DLC will be unavailable for saves made after this point. This is the point of no return. Yes, we would like to continue. Thank you.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time.
That's fair enough. You know anything useful about Tartarus?
Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return.
You promise not to leave without me?
I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain, unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
I mean, what the hell is it with you people and landing violations?
I'm sorry, you people? Did you just cast a generalization on upstanding UDL employees? That's a fine of 200 bits. You're up to 5,708, not including the cost of your execution and the disposal of your remains, which will be assessed posthumously.
How do I know you're a real officer under that helmet? Show me your ID.
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the ID of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge.
Nice.
How can I be of assistance?
Talk to you later, Ada.
Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
I know you do, but we've got ID now, so we're going to be able to sneak on in. Now, what was that about? The Groundbreaker. And a ship from there landing in our docking bay. I'm sure we'll find out. But here we are. We are in, and we are authorized.
The captain did right by us once.
What was that?
What's that noise?
Something.
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe.
Oh yeah, cool. So that'll be what the Groundbreaker stuff's all about. Nice. Right, looks like our ID badge didn't get us very far.
Stay down, hullhead.
But we've got a crew.
Hey, you!
Yeah.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Are you talking while on shift?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please.
Your secret's safe with me.
Whew. Thank you.
We're coming. Cool. And now we are covered again. Which means we can stroll in here, have a look around. There's a lot of violence going on out there, but we won't worry about that. It's nothing to do with us. Now, what do we have in here? Just general loot, nothing major.
The prison has the bars when it's got a storm like that guarding the gates.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Yep, that's why you're on the team, Nyoka. Now,
Let's look around. There's got to be a few ways through here.
that sounds like a sensible plan. But, I mean, we've got our keycard still. So we're good, we can just run across here. Pretty much. We've got our 3 speech charges back on.
Nice. Nicely done.
Much going on in there, or is that just loot? That's loot, but we can climb up here.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Right, what should we go with this time? Let's go with... I was hired to test your security procedures. Congratulations, because you have passed.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for your vigilant service. Carry on.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. That's one of our things used up again. Okay, so we can't access that. We need to go up. Cool, this is all working out alright. Now we've got more restricted access up here. The pit. That seems like a place where we might find Phineas. Let's see, we've got a big old thing in the middle. There's the exit. And up we go. This ID badge has got us a long way. I wasn't expecting so much non-violence.
The captain's here. Let's go. I want to see all of you busting ass.
Ah, Zora. That's the thingamajig guys on Monarch.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Yeah, what's it to you, bud?
Whoa, nothing. I was just asking. I was going to welcome you aboard.
Well, you made your point.
Okay, all right.
Now, I kind of regret not just shooting our way through here, but we're on a route now and we're sticking to it. Plus there is a achieve for completing 3 speech checks in one disguise, which we still don't have. So that would be fun. You there?
Hold it. Something about you doesn't look right.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling well.
Yeah? You're not contagious, are you?
I'm not sure, but this morning I was bleeding out my ears.
I don't want to know. Just stay back.
Cool. Do not enter when lights are on. It's sealed. It's unsealed. Oh dear, that's ended our access again. It's going to refresh again. Okay. So we still haven't got that chief. But now I know what I'm doing to get that chief. It shouldn't be too hard on another character. Now, what's going on up here? Some more violence? Yeah, it's more iconoclasts. Doing their thing. What a cool bunch of peeps.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that.
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Yeah, same, Perversi.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
It's doomed you. I'm just rooting out corruption, one idiot at a time.
Idiot? I'm not the one marching to my death in a maximum security prison. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Chairman Rockwell, just the man I'm here to kill.
How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm not waiting for anything. This colony needs saving right now.
Is that what you think you're doing? This path of wanton societal disruption? You call that being a savior? I call it sabotage. You know what saboteurs get, Captain? Summary executions. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
Yeah, I'll be in there before you know it. Right, giant automechanical. That sounds like fun. Doesn't it, Yuki? Who's chosen now is the time to just stand on my desk and get all up in my grill. And now he's trying to sit down in front of my keyboard, and now he's somehow knocked off the F8 button on my keyboard. Well, how have you done that? There we go, it's back on. Fortunately, it doesn't do anything exciting in this game.
Hell of a job.
And we've got a little hacky thing here that we can hack. Okay, the RAM. The riot's also mechanical. Let's designate it as a hostile unit. Is that going to cause other robots to attack it? That would be fun. There it is. Hello, RAM.
Here they come!
Now, it's just doing its thing. It does look pretty beefy. Let's see. I should just be able to keep shooting it in the butt. And in its tanks on the back. Oh, where's it gone?
The last of them. Nice one.
Cool. Turns out it wasn't that tough after all. And it's got the hibernation chamber key in its pocket. So let's head on up and see what we can see. Oh, doesn't this look nice? Hello, Chairman. Goodbye, Chairman.
Get me out of here!
Will do. Chief? Now, have I done that? There we go.
You don't know how glad I am to see you.
Pretty glad.
You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
No, I wouldn't have let anything happen to you, Phineas. You're a cool old man.
I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
I mean, I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
That's the plan.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option.
Good.
We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Good. I mean, that's where the board came from, so I wanted to be cut loose from Earth. We'd best get started with all this work we got there.
Yes, you're right. The road is long, and we haven't a moment to waste. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Well, Captain, Doctor, Inspector, Leader. Yeah, you can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on.
Hooray.
In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny.
No one ever said it was going to be easy.
As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the Iconoclast spread like wildfire. Zora's focus on logistics made for a safer monarch, where the Iconoclasts enjoyed a surge of new blood looking to join the ranks from struggling townships. Life on Monarch slowly improved from a desperate fight for survival to prosperous growth and more permanent strength. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town.
Yep, she was firm.
Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Oh no.
It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. Olivia and Minnie Ambrose worked together to cure the marauders Adrena Time had created. Through their partnership as scientist and administrator, they discovered the harmony that had eluded them as mother and daughter. And through years of patience and effort, they discovered a means to wean Halcyon from the scourge of Adrena Time. Their work eventually allowed Wells and his scientists to treat many of Halcyon's marauders. As their addiction waned, the colonists who had lived for so long under the thrall of Adrena Time returned to their communities and loved ones, and joined in the effort to save Halcyon.
Nice.
In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. Ruth Bellamy never forgot the words you said to her. She coped with Belinda's death by committing to live in a way that would make her sister proud. When the remnants of the colony banded together, Ruth Bellamy was there to help. She devoted her remaining years and resources to saving the colony. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds. Dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios. And, of course, how to look good doing both.
He's a hero.
After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange,
Fair.
Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care.
Good.
The dairy rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies.
Okay.
Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal.
Just a few.
Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Though Minister Clark was eventually released from house arrest, long years of isolation left him a changed man, little suited for bureaucratic work or for the colony that was changing around him. He remained in his estate largely by choice, fading from public view. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you.
Hooray.
No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
And there we have it. The Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. It's a pretty great game, you know, all told. It's not quite a Fallout game, but, well, I mean, it's better than 3 and 4, but it's not quite New Vegas levels of great. But it's pretty damn great, all told. It's made with a much smaller budget, and you can see that in the way that, like, there's not many different types of weapons, there's not many different types of enemies. A lot of them are just reskins of one another, or you've got the same creatures popping up on every different planet. But given the budget they had, they did a damn fine job. And the dialogue's pretty outstanding all around. Voice acting's generally great. Yeah, I had an extremely fun time playing this. I've still got like 2 or 3 other playthroughs that I'm partway through, like a board-loving one, and a stupid one that's going to end up skipping the Hope directly into the sun. But I don't think I'll finish those in time to make them part of this outro. I was planning on doing a sort of thing where I showed like different perspectives of the endings, but they're out there. You could probably find them on YouTube and such. Maybe you could play the game yourself and try a different route and see how it works out for you. I would highly recommend it based on this. And yeah, jolly good time was had all round. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed playing it. If you have, it'd be very nice if you can tickle that like button, or maybe even subscribe, or tell your friends. Telling your friends is always a valid option. And next week we will start something new, and I'm not 100% sure what it is yet, so I'll leave you in suspense for a week. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.